You need to get that particular thing right now. Also. So now, this is the key. If you get the mind control book, like I said before, you got to understand the way they did this. They took two. This book is probably the most important book on the planet now, because all the shit that is going on with this impeachment is about distraction. First 2 pages of the mind control book, if they can distract you, your subconscious is left open, and if your subconscious is left open, they can do what the fuck they want with you. That's distraction. You see what I'm coming from? That's what it's all about. We're going to get into this, but it's a big ritual going on right now with these crackers. And you got to know what time it is. You're going to break this shit down right now on this ritual, on what's going down with this thing that's going on with this whole impeachment, this Saddam Hussein thing, and all of that. Now, because there's always something behind that. They're not doing this shit here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They don't wiped out all the niggas. Black people are finished. As far as that, except you, and they can't do nothing about you. But as far as controlling the masses, black people through. So what's the big idea? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You just announced that your unemployment is the lowest it's been in 30-something years, because that means black people, because I told you before, unemployment means a certain group of people. So because they have wiped those people out, it's low. So therefore, they have won the war. So why are they doggone impeaching and doing all kind of stuff, and then the damn Republican motherfucker stand up, he done been fucking over. You see what I'm saying? The head of that kind of shit. And then Newt resigned before that. All that stuff is a part of the same thing, but it's all a part of mind control. You can't get into the bullshit. None of that shit is real. You don't understand nothing. None of that is real, because you are the people that's privy to understand that everything is based on secret societies. It's a ghost government anyway. So if they want to keep a person in power, remember, nothing gets broken now, nothing gets out now unless they want you to hear it in the first place. So that's all fake. So what is the major thing based on this fight? Now, either way, they don't realize it is. It's already prophesied. When they start the fighting, it's all over. So even though they're thinking that it's a damn blueprint joke that they putting on the public, they don't understand. For the mere fact that they got to get to the point that they got to fool people like that, there's something going on that the shit is all over. They through. We are in the greatest part. Now remember now, it's only a couple of days between the dreaded 1999. Now, I hate to tell you this, but based on the prophecies coming out of 18 Man's book, do you know it's a smaller format now. This is the original one, but you can buy it in the store. Millennium Prophecies of 18 Man. Do you know, for just as many end-time prophecies that you think that is in the year 2000, year 2001, there is just as many, if not more, same prophecies of 1999, or the same end-time year. You're looking for the year 2000. But there's just as many prophecies of the end of the goddamn world in 1999. And it's not just convenient that they doing this shit right now. You see what I'm saying? This is what time it is. Now listen. What's going on here? First of all, number one, let me get into a few things on what's really going down before I really get into that. If you go get the book, the 2 movies, see, they did it in sequels, but they didn't do them the year after, because you were getting, because some people were white people, they know black people ain't gonna get into shit. They would pick up on it and say, oh, these are the things. So, you had 2 major white heroes in America that they split amongst movie lines as far as your superhero. One was Arnold Schwarzenegger with Commando and all that shit. The other one was Sylvester Stallone with Rambo. Happened in the 1980s. This was only to establish 2 ultimate heroes to take off a series of movies that will set the whole tune for all this shit. Now, the 2 movies are Running Man, 1987, and then they did 2 or 3 years in between, so you can't put it together. Then they come out with Total Recall 1990. That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. with your boy, not Schwarzenegger, the other one, Sylvester Stallone. The other movie is 1993's Demolition Man. They split it up. The other second half of Demolition Man is 1995's Judge Dredd. If you take all four movies and put them, they got everything from cloning, mind control, and all that shit. But the one we want to deal with right now, which is very key, because this particular movie got past us as far as we understood it was the ultimate New World Order movie, but the action was so much into the movie until a lot of things you didn't deal with what was the dialogue. So you're going to go and you're going to get Demolition Man. Now, I went and got it again, and I started studying it last week, and I'm telling you, that book, they made a movie out of that fucking book right there. Now, that Demolition Man is a modern version of a movie 15 years ago, George Orwell's 1984. It came out in 1984, but when it was released in a book, it was 1948. It came out in 1948. No, it was 1984, but it came out in 1948. That movie is hard to get. You can't find it hardly in no places. But when you get it, it's done in such an artsy level until it's hard to pick up. You can notice the major things, no sex and all this kind of thing. But, yeah, they got it. But the key is that they made another version up under people's nose of this doggone Demolition Man. Now, the key is, with the Demolition Man thing is, that the number one criminal is Simon Phoenix, which is played by a blonde-haired Wesley Snipes. They're telling you in the movie that criminality itself is black. They might put some white people, but you got to understand. Now, this is the future, and they have all but wiped out criminality, which means they have all but wiped out black people. Because they talk about this is what's happened during the urban wars of the late 20th century. Like, white people ain't never killed nobody in the late 20th century. But they were talking about wiping out urban. They talk about all this graffiti. They were talking about black people. That's the first element. Number one, when they reinstate him, for the people saw the movie, he could kill up everybody, but he couldn't kill that main man. They had an implanted, and that represents in the movie how they can kill up. You can kill up all the black people, but you can't kill a goddamn white man. It's all in the movie. Now, the key is in the movie, all vaginal and saliva secretions are outlawed, so there's no physical sex. Because physical sex leads to kundalini arousal. So they can't have sex. You can't get it on. It's got to be that virtual shit. You see what I'm saying? You see. The other thing is, the foods you eat. So you said, well, it was talking about meat, but they started saying some other things, like they said you can't eat no spicy foods. That was outlawed. Because spicy food lead to kundalini raising. All your cayenne peppers and all that type of stuff. And it's just talking about the certain herbs also. Music is outlawed. That's why they're singing hot dogs. All the hot dogs is jingles and shit. Because the music has got to change too. That's happening right now. With the new music out here, it's not music at all. It's not music at all. Even if it's not rap, it's still not music, the shit you're hearing. And that's because it's, like the book said, Mind Control book said that they got to shut that stuff down so your pituitary gland can't produce the certain hormones. The pituitary gland regulates how much melanin it goes to the pineal. See what I'm saying? So they had to shut all that down. Get where I'm coming from here? It's all in the doggone movie. Now, now this is the key. Now, this is upon us now. When they would first unthawed Wesley Snipes, the guy looked at him and said, about 29 years ago, parole became obsolete. Now, this is the key on what's going on here. Now, let's shift out of the movie and show you what's going on right now. Then, you know, you got these other people that live up underground. They're called scraps, and they're just searching for food. But the other people are conditioned to accept things because the simple fact, in a capitalistic society, you become so deranged and sick based on your job. As long as you got a job, it don't matter. So that's why the damn people can produce a movie, Wag the Dog, show the damn picture of Monica Lewinsky in the damn movie, and the movie is made a year before the shit happened, and nobody picked the shit up because people got jobs. As long as the motherfucker getting paid, he don't give a shit about nothing. They go to war in the movie, they make a war in the movie, they show you how they set all the shit up, tell you right straight up, and nobody puts nothing together. They come on the TV, and they even use the the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky thing and all that, and they keep talking about wag the dog, wag the dog, wag the dog, all on the news. And you can't figure it out that it's all fake, because people are in a capitalistic society, and as long as the checks are coming, motherfucker don't give a damn about shit. If the country is burning down, long as the checks is coming, nobody gives a shit. That's mind control. You see? Now, in the movie 1984, Richard Burton's last movie, he tell the guy, you ain't gonna do no sex. He said, the only pleasure you gonna have is my fucking boot in your face. As the sex, we gonna beat you down so much until you gonna submit just to have whatever freedom we give your ass. Get one coming from here? All that shit is what's going on now based on this mind control thing. The people are walking zombies. So now let's shift to the real shit. So the movie 1993, they give an estimate of what's going to happen in the future. He says, 29 years ago, parole became obsolete. Now let's shift to the last time I was here. The whole Georgia race, and now I'm going to Milwaukee in January, met a brother up there, and they saying the same thing is happening there. The whole race was run on ending parole. Now, that is some radical, extreme shit. Ending parole. So, it's so radical until even white people go, I don't know about that shit. Hell, I might end up in jail and can't get out. You know, I do. You know how the white man, he do some embezzlement and get 9 months. He might get 6 years and then get out in 9 months and say no parole. I might have to do the whole 6 years. But see, what they do is, they done train these crackers. The word criminal now means black people. It's already in the psyche. Yeah. So what they did, they got a black is the one that is first thing you think, yeah, them niggas don't need to get out no way, because that's what it is. You don't think white people prison no more. You think based on the last 8 years and the propaganda war that went on. You see what I'm saying? The Goebbels propaganda. I told you before, they had to put the Jews in the camps. They had to do a propaganda based on the last 8 years propaganda war. You think criminal? You think black people? So now white people, you remember, oh, my boy's going to jail. But white people saying, yeah, lock them niggas up. Okay. So they talking about ending parole, all doing the Georgia thing. So what they do is, they go up 2 weeks before the election in November, this past November. They take a hitman and he goes up into the Hilton Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. And some white they just pick any random white vacationers. These people, they come in town on conventions and shit. Business conventions. So they had some white men, they all shacking up in 2 rooms or whatever. By 5 of them, one nigga up in there too. So this person comes in there and kill them all. Do a little robbery thing. But then again, on the other hand, they did it so cool because they couldn't really catch the people that they want. This was a straight up hit. Silencers and all. Nobody saw nothing. The woman, the maid, found them the next morning. Nobody, even the surveillance camera didn't even get a clear picture of nothing. Now, clearly it's a professional hit. That's 2 weeks before the election. 2 days before the election, they in Tennessee, they find some black man driving a car. They stopped at the car and say, anything wrong? He said, yeah, I think I got a gun up in here. They check the car and find out the stolen shit that he stole is the same stuff. Now, how is it you can get a person that is so brilliant that he can doggone evade everything with a hit so professional, but yet the nigga you find can't even damn tie his shoelaces right without fighting? You see where I'm coming from? Oh, but it was all set up. But they did it right before this critical election to end parole. Okay? So all the white people, we got to do something about these niggas. Because they done gave you shit now. You going to the polls to vote for this black man talking about in parole. That's some radical shit. We got to do something because you thinking black. And old fucked up niggas thinking black. So they go in and pull the levers and elect this motherfucker again, and now basically parole is ended. It's just a matter for him to vote it in because they said, once I get back in, I'm in parole. And you vote for him, hell, he's gonna do it. You see? But they set it all up with this doggone murder shit around the same time. Caught him 2 days before. Because they gotta, see, otherwise the people seem like a professional hit. So they gotta show you the black face so you can go and vote. Same like they did in the actual movie. But it's talking about mind control. Now, what is the voting thing? What is this thing all about? What is this whole thing about the parole? Well, we got a person here that is an expert on prison thing, but I'm not going to divulge no name on the tape or whatever type thing. I don't, name anonymous, but, we talking about a prison scientist. And he hit me to some things, as well as some things. We stayed up talking the last time I was here, and we figured it out. First of all, you got to look at this part. You got a person that's in, usually he get 5 years and might get out in a doggone year based on prison population overcrowding. Now you talking about privatizing of the prisons, and you build more space now, but don't let the niggas out. Just build more jails. Yeah. Okay, the key is, there are no factories left in the country. Oh, you think they went to Mexico, but why is it if there's so many thousands of factories in Mexico, why them barefoot motherfuckers still running across the border, hiding in fucking soup cans and shit, trying to get over here and get beat down? Seems to me if there's all these factories in Mexico, they move to Mexico, they move to Mexico. If all these damn factories in Mexico, why the hell they still got thousands of people getting over here when all the factories is over there? Why fool gonna be gardening and cutting some motherfucker lawn when he could be over there pressing some damn shit and getting damn $8, $9, $10 an hour in his own shit? Yeah. Ain't no factories over there. The factories are where? In the goddamn prisons. Yep. But if the factories are in the prisons, if I train a damn man to do a job and he good, because niggas is good, when they get the groove, and this man got 5 years and he gonna get out in a year, I'm crazy because this is a corporation now. I can't be turning over no nigga, training a nigga every 6 damn months. Yeah. So if I cut out damn probation, I got that nigga ass for 5 years. If he get 50 years, I got a 50-year employee for what? A damn penny a day or whatever they charge the motherfuckers or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about slavery, and that's what all your prison and everything now, your industry is going back to a slave culture. You remember now, the conservatism is to conserve. When you conserve, you go back to something that you used to do that built the country. This country was not built on work. This country was built on slavery. Yeah. So the industrial shit is gone now. The only way you're going to make this country go to the 21st century is what? Slavery. The same thing before. This country became the richest country in the land because it had free labor for 300 years. So in order to do it and all, we got to reinstitute slavery, just like the doggone Masons said they was going to do. It was always said it was going to put us back in slavery. So that's what this whole thing is about. Very key that you understand that at this particular time. Now, so, going back to this particular thing. First of all, I need to put this because I don't need this to slip my mind. First of all, I gave you a chart here of the pineal gland and everything is connected to. Well, first of all, the key is now, because we got new stuff based on the perms. Now, based on what? Perms. Getting perms in your head. We knew that the perms caused all types of fibroid tumors and all that type of stuff. But now what happens is this here. There's a science on this. The chemical companies and all got together and they said, look, we need to suppress the black man and black woman's hair in the 70s. We're going to do basically the male thing and all with the Jerry curls. And that worked for a little while with the black males and stuff. But basically, because of patriarchal society, males don't necessarily have to go and present themselves a certain way and still get women. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So they don't have to, based on a patriarchal society, that they make it that the male is dominant for the white man, we end up getting some slack cut too. So we don't have to go through the double hell as the sister. You see what I'm saying and all? Go to the double hell as the sister so we're not expected to look with the damn pompadour and all that old shit, you see, like we did it back in the day. You see, because we're talking about a patriarchal society. so we don't have to do that. It's a double standard. Now, the key is, it didn't work for the males, so they got every other shit for his ass. But the female was based on the chemical companies and stuff, and that's why they said, no, we got to perfect the perm. I remember when that shit was perfected, because remember that shit in the 70s and the 60s? It wasn't quite the same way. And remember back in the 70s, they said, you get a perm, your ass might get, your hair might fall out. Real dangerous shit. You see that? So that hot comb was still king, right? But the afro saved a nigga ass in the 70s. But it came to the point where somewhere in the late 70s, with more black people entering into the corporate world, this is the way that they could put it on people. And plus the inferiority, we do things a lot of times for surface level, and they don't dead down deep, because the mass of the people is on the surface. They're not into the real consciousness. We luckily gave up this particular stuff based on the corporate world, because most of the particular race follows the upward mobile. When the upward mobile started getting their hair done, everybody else started doing the same shit. And that's how it trickles down. They follow us. Or they follow the ones that's not so downtrodden. That's the way it goes in the racial thing. So as a result, the white boy at the same time, he perfected that perm somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s, and that shit got even better over the 80s. Whereas that shit became to the point whereas this shit was almost identical to the white woman's hair, to white people for the first time could do black hair in the regular beauticians that motherfucker was perm. As a result, we just thinking that's high technology, but you got to understand the white motherfucker don't do shit to help us. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, in the 70s, they had already said, listen, we can shut down the pineal gland through the perms. And based on a high active pineal gland, you don't get sick and you don't do any shit. You can regenerate your cells. But if we can shut down the pineal gland, black people will be on the same health level as white people. So that the perm puts a calcification on the pineal gland that it doesn't secrete the melanin to regenerate the cells. So as a result, the black woman for the first time started aging on the same damn level as the goddamn cracker. I see motherfuckers now looking old at damn 28. You see. So they shut this thing down, and based on aging and based on all other type of stuff and based on thought capacity and all of that, and now the children that is being produced of a mother that didn't have high function of the pineal gland, so she didn't have the spiritual connection with the child, and you got a straight up monster half the damn time. Now, this is not for everybody, because you got to realize some souls are advanced and it overrides that anyway. The key is, because melanin is a regenerative process, only thing you got to do is just get the perm out your head, and it automatically will heal. Because for the mere fact, to show you that it's a regenerative process, every time the damn nappy hair busts through the roots of the perm in the first place, it lets you know that that is the time where the pineal gland has already regenerated the process of melanin. But you keep putting the motherfucker back on there. And that's why liquor stores, check cashing places, churches, and got churches, and also fucking damn beauticians is all you see. You see. So therefore, what is also happening now if you even look, you're going to even find out that there's a relationship of consciousness with some of the sisters who don't have it compared to the ones who do have it. It boils down to that now. Just the ones with it in the head. Now, the key is, I'm not saying that there's capacity. Some people are born based on spirit, that they came back, the spirit is able enough for them to tap into things anyway. But the key is, what can that motherfucker, if it's doing that capacity and you getting this shit with a damn perm, what you think will happen when you get the motherfucker out your head? Shit, you might be off the damn planet. Killing up some crackers with your eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? And they got this thing, and it's a science now. Because the pineal gland is only as big as a grain of corn. You see, so this is very key that you understand that, and that's why I produced this particular diagram to let you know if the pineal gland is connected to this much shit throughout the body, we're not just talking about some little old shit to just pump melanin and keep you from the sun. We're talking about something that literally is our whole function that they have shut down. Then you can understand why niggas don't get nothing. Whereas in the 70s, if this knowledge would have came back, we'd have had more conscious people. Right. But what happened is now we don't have the conscious people because they that damn shut down. With the niggas, they got black men, they got all other kind of shit, prison, whatever type of shit, you know. What's that, brother? Yeah, you know, it's just a buck, whatever the deal is, you know. So that's the key. So the key is you got to get that out of the head to get pure pineal function. Now, going on, we try to understand some things right now on what's going on right now. First of all, like I said, Robert Temple got out a new book, The Sirius Mystery. Did you all see this book? The Sirius Mystery, the new one. The new one and all, which is 140-something extra pages. Now he didn't, and it was interesting because on the back of the book, I was wondering why this man did a book in 1976 and then didn't write another book, but then he just updated this one, and he put all this stuff up in there and all, but on the back of the page, they said that all of the CIA, British intelligence, and all was after his ass. You see them saying and all, was after his behind based on this particular thing. Now, let me go into this particular science on what's going on right now, based on, but he also come back and then talk about something called the Anubis cell. That's melanin. Don't let nobody fool you. He talks about this cell is connected with the cosmos. That's melanin. He drops that in the first part of the book. You know, but the book is worth getting because he got updated versions and brand new pictures of Dogon, clear pictures, and it's worth getting based on the new amount of information that's also in there too. Now the key is this, and let me try to explain some of this stuff to you on what's going on right now. On what's going on right now with this cycle. First of all, this shit is going down with all this distraction with the Kuwait and all that type of stuff. All that is based on this winter solstice thing and the summer solstice and the fall equinox, and they're trying to keep people locked into that type of shit because there's some major stuff happening at this particular time. Number one, this particular book, Nostradamus 1999, although he's a little off, he's thinking that it's supposed to be a great king. Let me read it for you so you'll know. Quatrain, read the quatrain for you. Well, I got it memorized. In 1999, 7 months from the sky, will become a great king of terror. Will become a great king of terror, which will reestablish the kings of the Mongols. Remember, the original Mongolians was black. Afterwards, war reigns happy, or Mars reigns happy. First of all, because they put Mars up in there. Number one, the occult people know that Mars adds up to, well, not even that. We're going to get into that too. Because that got something to do with it too, because I'm going to show you something in a minute. That's good you said that, because I'm going to tap into something also in a few minutes. We know that Mars and Heru is one and the same. So this particular part about the great king of terror is Heru. Now, it says 7 months from the sky. But it don't necessarily have to be 1999 July. It says in 1999, 7 months from the sky. 1999 could have been after the 7 months in the sky. Remember we gave you this the last time. Jason, July, August, September, October, November. You understand what I'm saying? December, and so this would also be constellations, Sagittarius going on, because December and November is connected because you're talking about Sagittarius. December would be the bridge to lead on into Capricorn. You see what I'm coming from here? So 7 months from the sky could be 1999. Either way, we know that the white boy understands some of the science because he's doing the shit now. He's going for broke. So it says 1999, 7 months from the sky. You would say, well, that's July 1999, but it could be 7 months from the previous July 1999 arriving at the fucking end. Come on, let's get down. See him coming from here? Now we know that the white boy is going for broke now. You saying, but we ain't in the camps. No, your ass been in the camps.
That's right.
There ain't nothing but a few niggas left out here.
That's right.
Fucking Atlanta is underpopulated. Detroit is underpopulated. The only people out here, some motherfuckers is functional and just want to get paid. All the rest of the motherfucking niggas is dead. This is the aftermath. That's what the movie Demolition Man was showing you, the aftermath. It all but eliminated crime. Demolition Man is what's going on now. You see what I'm saying? This is the aftermath. Now, this 7 months from the sky, war reigns happy. Now the key is, the reason, and I'm going to show you this, let me get my other book. This is the Complete Prophecies. They got out a new one, just came out, Nostradamus Code. Nostradamus Code, but I checked it out and all. I think that this one, I think that this one is the, is probably the better one, the Complete Prophecies of Nostradamus. But they said, he said that my works will become more popular. My works will become more popular after I'm dead. I be damn if Nostradamus ain't wrote 1 billion books since he been dead. Shit, every damn time I look up white people writing on this thing here, you know. But I want to show you this, because I got it up in here. What I'm going to do is that I can turn right to the one in this one. Hold on, let me just bear with me 1 minute and see if I can get this particular thing. So-and-so, so-and-so. Anyway, what the white boy, what they're dealing with right now, first of all, they're dealing with 2 or 3 things. First of all, they're dealing with a man with a blue turban. So immediately they think that the blue turban is a man from the Middle East. So right there they have already been thrown off. That's the first thing. So let's deal with this. They're thrown off based on that already. Now in this particular book, Nostradamus 1999, and he says, at this very moment, a huge comet will soon be visible by the naked eye, because the book came out in, it says 1997, but it actually came out in 1996 for 1997. So this was right before the Hale-Bopp comet came. At this very moment, a huge comet will soon be visible to the naked eye, and it is and is rocking towards our planet. Nostradamus' prediction holds, if not Nostradamus' prediction holds true, the Earth will pass through the tail of this comet in 1999. So it came in 1997, but in 1999 they're talking about passing through the tail of this comet. Now remember now what was on the tail of this goddamn comet. The tail of this particular Hale-Bopp comet was this so-called mothership of this particular intelligence, bigger than the Earth. Okay. Could the King of Terror, prophesied over 400 years ago, potentially lethal metaphor for the hidden tail of this comet, this King of Terror? So he's saying that whatever this King of Terror is in the back of this particular comet. Now, either he's trying to write to throw your ass off, or either he's writing for 2 types of people. But first of all, it says this, and I want to read this particular part right here for you so you can understand something. First of all, I look up the word on page 141, and let's see something. 141, and it goes in, and he talks about, in the other book, it talks about this kingdom of the Fez rising up at the end. But the kingdom of the Fez is not some Arab motherfuckers over here. The kingdom of the Fez is 2 phenomenons that happened in the 1920s and 30s, which was Noble Drew Ali's set and Honorable Elijah Muhammad's set, which basically gave you the introduction of Islam as we know it. Although they said there was other Islam group before, but basically those 2 groups are the ones that gave you the introduction of this kind of Islam. Not no bullshit motherfuckers bowing down to Allah and that old bullshit shit, bowing down to your own ass, but giving you some Sufism type of Islam. Yeah. But he called it what? The kingdom of the nation of Islam, or the kingdom of the Fez, which is talking about the reinstallment of the Moorish Empire, or the Moroccan Empire in the fucking West, set up by the Moors. Prophesies this thing. So he's throwing people off thinking that shit is in the Middle East, and they got that whole Saddam Hussein shit to fake the funk. To throw your ass off. Remember that Charlton Heston and them came on TV in 1991, and somebody he was the one, the great king of terror and all that shit that was prophesied by Nostradamus. Some motherfucker that damn Bush and them set up as they boy. They talking on the phone every damn day, jacking off together. And you thinking, oh yeah, he's an evil man. Every time they want to get a motherfucker attention, they call him up and say, let's start this shit over again. Ain't killed nigga yet. Done killed every ancient motherfucker over there the other day in 2 days. Done dropped shit in all the damn ancient relic sites and stuff of the temple of Mithra and Zoroastrianism and all the ancient Sufism science in there and rock that shit and Saddam ass ain't dead yet. Save his motherfucking monkey ass for another time and they can do this shit again. And you buying the bullshit. Or you all or not. But the key is the damn decoy, because the kingdom of Fez, the Moorish kingdom of the Fez, which ended several hundred years ago, well, that's kind of contradiction. How is it that this is in his last centuries and he's talking about a kingdom of the Fez that's going to rise up in the end times if it ended 700 years ago? That don't make no sense. It can't be talking about that motherfucker because that's past history. This is futuristic shit. And it can't be, well, it was during the time of Nostradamus' time. No, when he came along, the Moors was already gone. If he's prophesying, he's not prophesying before his time, it's only time after his time. So any type of futuristic kingdom of the Fez is going to rise. He's talking about a futuristic kingdom of the Fez, and we know it ain't no Arabs over there because them white people. We know that it's talking about, and this kingdom of the Fez is not just talking about the nation of Islam. Don't get me wrong. Don't pinpoint that shit. I don't want you to go running to no fucked up ass Farrakhan thinking he got any kind of shit. This was prophesied based on Noble Drew Ali and Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they gone, and they said, after me comes God. It's talking about us. Because they got the doggone Babylonian shit, the damn god, several gods with wings and shit with the Fez on. Right, Anu, which is a form of Anubis, with the Fez. They even got Egyptian pharaohs with Fez on. So we're talking about basically an ancient relic, and they're talking about the Fez. They're talking about ancient people. Under the banner of what started this thing off was, you got to give it to them, was Noble Drew Ali and Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the metaphysical tip. And then all the banners in what you got now with the Afrocentric thing and in the meta is later advanced installments of how it had to develop into what we got now while we standing here now. And the gap in high gallery. But you got to go get the Highlander book. The damn movie came out 13 years ago. The book just now making it to America. I'm talking about the Highlander one. The paperback book just now made it to America 2 months ago. But in there they talk about an Arab that's ruling some shit. And they talk about the Islamic thing in the book and the Moor and all that, and that's what they talk about. The Highlander is nothing but us and the Moor. Book just not getting them little paperback book and stuff. Now, anyway, so they're telling people the great king of terror is coming from the east, and the great king of terror is our ass rising up, throwing people off, bombing up that place over there. But the whole time now they doing a damn ritual to stop the fucking energy because they got everybody locked into the bullshit. Now the Jews play a heavy part in this thing. We got to understand why they was able to damn keep those people flourishing over there. These particular Jews, the Israeli Jews, these Zionists, they're up over there doing rituals and shit to stop something. Now, I'm going to drop something on you. Because they wrote a book for their people a couple of months ago. But I don't recommend the book if you read the shit. But I'll tell you how to break the code in the shit. Everything they talking evil in the book is your monkey ass. So you got to get on the thing. It's a coded book, but it's your ass. And in the book, the most evil thing opposed to God is Lilith. Now Lilith is the great mother. Comes from, it's Layla in Islam, Lily too, Tiamat, all that's the same shit. Leviathan, Newt, all that is the same thing. Lilith is the energy in the book. But the cat who is big time over in Israel break the shit. He tells the story for the first time what's really happening with the Jews and why the crackers keep them as the head priest of all white people. He tells it for the first time this year in a goddamn book. They break the shit. Okay, we know all the other conspiratorial thing about them, but he tells it. He said there's some Lilith energy that is on the planet. And this Lilith energy is pure chaos. And this energy comes 8 times a year. Summer solstice, winter solstice, spring equinox, fall equinox, All Saints Day, Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July, 8 times a year. But it is the Jews of Israel, that's why they placed them over there after 1945, in 1948, 50 years ago. It is that to do rituals during the winter solstice and summer solstice through this old holiday bullshit to stop these cracks and where Lilith and her children, her spawn, can enter and retake the goddamn earth. That's what those Jews are over there for. So they said, no, we're going to do better than that. We done revised a medallion, and we calling for all Jews and all damn crackers that's down with it to come get this damn medallion, and all niggas that don't know what time it is to order medallion. Now, the book is called The Lost Scrolls of Solomon the King. This is the book. On the back, it says, now the power of El Shaddai can be yours, but they don't understand. Either way they run, they fuck. El Shaddai is set tight. So they fucking up with this shit here. But they do drop in the book and tell you that Satan is not evil. They drop that in the book, but then again, on the other hand, they talk about Lilith. You got, not only that, not only do they have the thing where you can order here, they even got a toll-free number, 1-800-THE-MOON. But here, right here, they got also another card glued in the book telling you you got to get these medallions to fight against this evil. But we know this little bit of bullshit ain't gonna work because we the goddamn people. Because see, they would think, they would like for it to be a spirit out there that they can contain, but it's a spirit down here that they can't. And they're saying this with you believing that you don't know nothing about what's going on, and they figure they can stop this shit that's going down. But they don't understand. We back now. We know what time it is. That's right. If y'all don't, at least I do. I know what time it is. So I know they can't stop the goddamn bullshit. It's over. Ain't but 2 damn ways. Ain't so many ways to burn down a goddamn house. This shit is over. Y'all got to understand what time it is. Okay, now let's break this shit down now. That's right. It's down. So now y'all got to understand what time it is. That's why they got y'all watching the fucking damn impeachment hearings. But let me drop the shit on you about that yet before I get into this. Let me drop the shit on that for you. Now, we understand that the Antichrist and all that metaphysically is talking about melanin, and that's us. Aim, the shadow of God. That's a different realm. We've gone through that in some lectures the last time. You know about that type of stuff. But on the other hand, this white boy, he is creating a biblical Antichrist. That biblical Antichrist, if you pound for pound look at it and really study it, it can't be nobody but Bill Clinton. Now let's explain this. Bill Clinton is loved by black people. Now, they gave us 8 years of Reaganomics that made black people drop your ass off the damn pedestal from the 70s where you was on an upswing to weaken the whole stronghold by putting everybody in the corporate world, making everybody just dead and thinking we all the same. And then they just went in and took all these little laws, and then they said, now we're going to really drive it home. Now, you don't drive shit home as far as we're going to murder black people. We got them weak. We on this threshold. We got them killing each other. We already set it all up. Now, to really drive it home so they don't catch in, we got to put in a Democratic president. That's a ritual. Somebody that they love, and while they're here basting off of a motherfucker that got a head full of hair that they love, thinking they're getting Kennedy again, who didn't love them either, we can really fuck them up and kill them. So the last damn 8 fucking years has been a nightmare under the same president you so-called love. So he's that to black people. He's something to white people. They're saying this man here, how many people done died when he was that's been associated with him. They talking about how he even the Democrats hate him because he'll pat them on the back and then they say he abandons them after a while and leave them hanging out there. You see what I'm saying? So now, in that, by them doing this, they'll call themselves, they're getting rid of a form of the Antichrist. He's a figure, but you got to understand, he surrounded himself with niggas. So by them dethroning him, it's like dethroning black people who is their real Antichrist. We are their Antichrist. Yeah. So by them dethroning that structure, because Amen, which we are the hidden ones, you get the word Amen, you get the word Damon, you get the word demon, this is all spiritual shit, you get the word Democrat. That's black substance. We went into this before. In question and answer, you can go back and stuff. So they're getting rid of one hierarchy. This is a ritual to overthrow one hierarchy to the republic of the people. That's Plato's republic. You see what I'm saying? Those people, white people. You see what I'm saying? So they're doing this particular thing right now, although the original Republican Party, damn, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Yeah. You know what I'm saying and all? So they even got the glorious shit on their side, but then again, they treat him as a nigga. Look at the damn penny. Yeah. My point is, this is all a ritual of shifting of the gods. It's on a greater level than what you think it is. Meanwhile, all that shit is going on. The Jews saying, yeah, y'all got that shit going on. Now we're going to break some shit here to reestablish a kingdom again of power. We're going to put out Prince of Egypt. It's all a ritual going on. That shit broke today. To reestablish the old slave shit or that Moses bullshit again. Well, they couldn't make a real movie because Cecil B. DeMille made one that would be pale in comparison now. I mean, the one now would be pale in comparison because the simple fact, it would cost trillions of dollars to get a major cast like that. So they can't do that. They say, but we can do the animated thing so it won't even be on the same caliber, but it would be just as great. So they put this Prince of Egypt shit, and they got all kind of people. They got fucking Mariah Carey singing songs, Whitney Houston. They got that old Danny Glover motherfucker playing some shit. They got all of Hollywood in it like a big ritual to reestablish Zionism and destroy Egypt. But it's better on them because that Exodus shit of Moses and shit, before it was a historical shit, it was an ancient mystical science of black people. And that's goddamn bondage. Yeah. So the shit gonna backfire on them, but meanwhile they doing a damn ritual with this Prince of Egypt. Now I'm telling you, this shit is big. Man, you go in the damn bookstore, they got comic books, coloring books, game toys. Then not only they done produce complimentary historical books on scholarly books on Moses with the Prince of Egypt symbol on them. So this shit is more than just a cartoon. Anytime you can take a damn, they got a book out. Believe this shit. They got about 30 different items. Everything covered. But they even got historical manuals, books, of scholarly books on Moses, and they got the Prince of Egypt logo on the ship. This is serious stuff. It's going on the same time. This movie broke today the same time they got the war going on and all this shit. It's a fucking ritual. See what I'm saying? Now, 418 days before the year 2000, the weekend of the 418 days, several things happened. The movie Siege opened. No, Thursday night, Bill Clinton signed in the executive order for martial law. Whenever that was I can't remember what date it was. It was back in November or something. He signed in the executive order. 6 hours later, at 12 o'clock, the movie Siege opened, which is the King Alpha plan. 6 hours later, during the same damn time, Newt Gingrich resigned. Yeah. Meanwhile, all this is going on while John Glenn is still up in the goddamn air. He comes down that Sunday or that Monday. Yeah, I think the 29th. But anyway, 418th day was on that Sunday, which was the 29th or whatever. All that shit was on the 418. And if you notice, 418 is also the number of melanin, which is also 13, if you add it up, which is in 31 backwards, which is Mayat's number, which is the key to the Book of Law. We'll get into that later on. But anyway, 418, which is called the Great Works in Alchemy, and the Great Works is the coming together of all the melanin components. So all this stuff happened, and they got rituals going on. They've been having a festival of rituals going on every day now since the fucking 70s, which was August the 18th. No, August the no. It was 8/17 because it was August with the 8-month 17th day that Clinton came up and said, I'm guilty. I fucked her. It was there. Now 718 is the other spiritual number. You see. And he broke the thing, said, yeah, I did fuck her. Yeah, it's true. On 718, which is another spiritual number of the black man. We'll get into that also. So this ritual been going on all the way up to now. This is very serious shit that they're dealing with. But the key is, we own it. You see? We own it. Now, let me explain some shit to you. Go ahead.
They see came out, and I watched the King Trenton. Young Trenton ritual. Shoot another movie was made about this guy, Hurricane somebody. I can't think of Hurricane Carter. Trenton is also known as Washington's Coffin. Here comes Denzel Washington playing Hurricane Carter. Say that the movie Siege came out. What's the reason extract from that? Anything?
Well, you never know, because you got to realize the only reason why they was able to even they brought these. Remember now in the 70s you had all these stars out. Now there's one book too. I got to remember this. There's a book put out. You can get it at Borders Bookstore. It's a book with all they call them exploitation flicks, but there's a art book out of all the movie posters of all the 70s flicks. I'm going to go buy the shit, because it's got it all of it. Three the Hard Way, Foxy Brown, and all the movie posters. They put out a book, Miramax Film put out a book on the 70s flicks. And they got it for 30% off, you know, on that type of stuff. And I mean, they got over like 200 or 300 posters up in this shit. All the stuff. Black Caesar. They got the art, they got the posters, and it's a beautiful book to have, because that was some good shit back in the day. Anyway, they had all these actors acting, and in 1979-80 they cut it off. And the only people acting through the 80s was doggone Eddie Murphy was mainly the key person. And then they start slipping in Denzel and all the later that type of stuff. Spike Lee at the late 80s, coming into the 90s. And what the government was doing was they was putting a cast of actors up that they could do to use them as doing rituals with. So as a result, these actors now the last 3-4 years, they have taken over all of the science fiction movies and horror movies, and they're using rituals with the black man energy for that shit. It's all keenly set up. So anything they're doing right now is based on doing that type of stuff. But anyway, in this book, they talk about Lilith. They talk about Lilith, which is the ancient darkness that's against God, because God treated, you know, we'll get into that particular part. Anyway, Lilith is the great mother that was overthrown by her son. So she's the key. I talked about that the last time. Anyway, they say Lilith, in the book, she decided that she was going to have a spawn of children after the second Adam, Eve. Second Eve came. Second Eve just represents the incarnation into the physical birth. So Lilith came up because she escaped and went back up to heaven. She said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my darkness in all of the ones that Eve had. So these so-called light beings, Lilith comes in and she puts the melanin in them. And a mixture of the melanin and the light particles in there, they are called grays. So in actuality, the grays that they're talking about from Orion and all that shit, that's actually us. You know, there's all this UFO shit they talking about, these grays, these evil grays. I broke the seal on that shit, because I'm saying anything that they're talking about, that they're talking shit about now is about black people. Anyway, the grays is a mixture of melanin and the light particles in the type of stuff. But anyway, they go in and they talk about the evil and all this type of stuff and say one day she's going to take over if we slip up. But they say that's what the Jews are there for in Israel. They do rituals to make 8 times a year to make sure that she don't break back into the earth realm. And that is talking about basically Lilith is in all of us, which is the melanin realm, basically, to break this thing down on a greater level. And to make sure that they don't come back down to the earth realm, make sure that we don't rise up, they do these particular rituals. Now, the key is this. And it's interesting because I told a lot of people for this and nobody was hardly able to get this. They only printed a small copies, amount of copies. Did you ever was able to get one of these? And the last time I was here, I was showing you that Lilith or Leviathan, remember? That they broke in November. Is nothing but a black hole. Black hole. That's in, but this black hole, as they say, this black hole of the Milky Way, in the heart of our own galaxy is a hungry beast that rules mysterious realm of cataclysmic violence. Now, we talked about that the last time, remember. And as I showed you in the book the last time, that why would they show the black hole and they show the shit looking like fucking spaceships? Which is the mothership. Now, going back to this particular book, he says in 1999 we will pass through the tail of this comet. Now, knowing the whole 39 people, Heaven's Gate, to kill themselves, we understand that they was talking about also this thing that was behind the Hale-Bopp comet that came, which was supposed to have been a ship. But then again, your other people from Emory University, Courtney Brown and them, said it was an intelligence, and they said it was 3 times bigger than the Earth. So the government said, well, no, fuck that, we're going to let them all do that hoax shit, or we're going to do them, because the whole key is never merge metaphysical with science. Although it's all of it. The metaphysical people are talking stuff, and they're all right, and the science people are talking stuff, and they're all right, but if you scientifically explain metaphysical, everybody get turned on. Yeah. But if you don't, you can keep the people divided. The metaphysical people against the scientific people, and you never merge the two. So the government say, no, we're going to be quiet. Let the 39 people in 1997 kill themselves and all this kind of shit, and Courtney Brown say those type of things, and we're just going to be quiet, and then we're going to come out with our own thing. So in November of this year, as I said, they came out with the black hole thing. It's saying that, number one, we have a black hole in our galaxy. And I told you all that what's going on here, if the Courtney Brown people reported that this thing was over the Earth, these remote viewers, and they reported that this particular thing was over the Earth, that this shit is actually right here. Now the key is that our Earth is setting right in the middle of a black hole. The event horizon. Now, the event horizon, you saw the movie, go get the movie Event Horizon, that's the black hole. But the event horizon, the ancient Egyptians knew it, and they call it Horus on the horizon. So that damn event horizon, that's just a new word for fucking Heru, the Christ, on the horizon. But when is the event horizon? Well, goddammit, Discover magazine, well, when is Christ coming? Well, Christ is Horus, the Heru energy. Well, here, the Discover magazine said that this is the event horizon. This motherfucker, we right in it. So, but they go on and say that we don't have the mathematics to calculate this thing because all the stuff we did on black holes in the past was billions of galaxies away. Now that we in it, we can't calculate it. But there are occult people saying because that ain't nothing but a hologram. The real black hole is in the motherfuckers down here walking around, which is black people. Which is us. So they can't calculate the shit because that's only a hologram. It's only a movie screen showing what's going down here on the earth. Okay? We talked about that. Now the key is, they're saying they can't calculate this particular event horizon. The occult people know what the hell is going on. So they got all these damn rituals going on with John Glenn's monkey ass all up there, who was the first person to go up in space the first time, so they do a ritual as the last person to go up and try to reverse the cycle back to the damn some other time in the past. This is already, shit don't work.
Ain't gonna happen. We can go again.
Ain't gonna happen.
The shit don't work. You see. Meanwhile, he's talking about the great king of terror in 1999 passing through the tail of the comet. Well, wait a minute. Now, hold on. Let's break this thing down. If the heavens, see, it's all of this, see, they separated, chop it up. The heaven gate people kill themselves. You know, the little purple shit on, the Nikes on, sitting in the bed and all that shit. And they talk about because the ship was there. Okay? They was talking about a physical ship, which ain't happening, and ain't no physical ship. The mothership is in your brain. The only mothership there is. It's your ass. So, they kill themselves. They talk about the physical things, the Afro-white people. Courtney Brown break the news on the advanced metaphysical status, the Emory University remote viewers people. Say, no, this is an intelligence, a big black mass that is over the earth, 3 times bigger than the earth. Okay. So they break it. But there's still that's bordering on the metaphysical thing, and most people are not trained to even deal with that. So then, the government comes in and tell you we got a black hole. Okay? But he's saying that the tail of the comet, just like the other people, is this great king of terror, which is Mars reign happy, which is Mars attack, which is the same black hole in so many words. You get where I'm coming from? In so many words, which is the whole thing with the 1999, which we are already in the shit. See, the whole key now is not even to the point of waiting for something to happen on the New Year's night. You might be disappointed. The key is to figure out right now how to access the shit. Now let me go into some stuff right now, what I'm talking about here. Okay. A girl said she didn't have her period about a month. So I said, well, you know you ain't pregnant or whatever the deal is. She said, so the spirit kept coming and saying, no,